Good morning, evening, and/or afternoon, depending on your time zone. And Struggler Bry here with a new speculation video for My Hero Ultra Rumble. In today's video, we're going to be talking about villains. Villains, not heroes that should be in My Hero Ultra Rumble. If you don't know by now, and you're watching this speculation video for the first time in your My Hero career, My Hero Ultra Rumble is a 24-player battle royale game starring teams of 3 as they all duke it out to win and be the final team standing. It's being published by Bandai Namco. I don't think the exact developers have been confirmed yet. It's a free-to-play game, but it's going to have a lot of it's going to be like you can buy costumes and stuff like that. Anything you'd expect from a free-to-play battle royale game, right? As I mentioned in my heroes video, I named 5 heroes that I wanted to see playable. So in this video, we'll be doing 5 villains. Villains again. I had to wear the concert tee for this one just because it's relevant. So let's get to it. You know, I've been talking so much. All right. So in no particular order, I think these are the 5 villains across the entirety of the My Hero series that should be in Ultra Rumble, whether it's at launch or for post-launch content. Let's find out. You know. Alright, so for villain number 1, All For One. All For One's a given, right? He's the main antagonist of the multi-generational war between One For All and All For One. His quirk, All For One, I was about to say Or For One. It opens up a lot of potential gameplay options, right? You know, he can take quirks, he can give quirks to other people, and while it won't inherently be canon, everybody teaming up, Shigaraki and Deku teaming up isn't inherently canon. They could have it so that he could give quirks to other people to like buff them, you know, take the quirks of people that he defeats. I don't know. If I were to design All For One in the game, I think you'd have a real fun time with his quirk. There's just from a gameplay perspective, there's so much that you can do with it. And on my third bullet for All For One, or the case for All For One, is he's a beloved villain. You know, when he first showed up and the piano was playing and he was just hovering over everybody in season 3. That was scary. He was the first guy that could catch a punch from All Might and not be fazed by it. You know, it was kind of scary. You know what I mean? So All For One, if he's not considered in the launch roster of the game, he has to be in the game post-launch. That's the case. Like, I'd be surprised if he doesn't show up in the game. If they're going to take this battle royale and support it and have it grow over seasons like Fortnite or Apex Legends, you have so many heroes and villains to choose from. Let's get some of the good ones in here. Okay, number 2 is the Mafia boss himself, or the Yakuza boss, not Mafia. What's the difference? Oh, please don't come for me if you like represent the Mafia or the Yakuza. I'm scared. Okay, the Yakuza boss himself, Overhaul, Chisaki Overhaul. And Chisaki Overhaul isn't his full name. I forgot his last. Kai Chisaki is his full name. Look at me remembering my hero lore. Overhaul, he deserves a spot in the roster just because he was one of the first antagonists in the entirety of the My Hero story that wasn't just a part of the League of Villains and connected to All For One in any way. And I think just like that sheer fact and his role in season 4, I want to say it was season 4 where Deku fights him and he uses 100% and all that good jazz. It played a very important role for Deku as a character, as a hero. And while we're talking about a battle royale game, the story doesn't really matter. I would say Overhaul's just impact to Deku as a character makes him a fantastic villain that stands out. Like with All For One, I'm going to talk about his quirk, Overhaul. I'm going to say Overhaul a lot, but we're talking about the quirk Overhaul, not the villain Overhaul at the moment. I feel like it could be a very, very interesting quirk from an offensive and support perspective, because the general nature of Overhaul's quirk is that he can rework and overhaul the atoms and stuff of people and cells. And as a result of that, I feel like you could have him either offer up support abilities for himself, for his teammate, you know, like heal them if something goes wrong. And he could also be one of the third, like, or another big, gigantic villain, you know, like how Mount Lady is in the game. She's one of the only characters in the game that can transform to such a huge size because she's Mount Lady. Overhaul's transformation into his like dragon-like state, that could be something that could make an appearance. And you'd have to find some way to balance that so people don't go crazy with it. So that lands Overhaul in spot number 2. Spot number 2 for Overhaul. Number 3 is a little outlier. It's a little weird. Just bear with me for for the point that I'm going to make regarding it. But number 3 is Muscular. You know, Muscular from season 3, the summer arc when they try to kidnap Bakugo. Well, when they do kidnap Bakugo, not try. I feel like he is someone that I want to see in this game in place of Namu from the USJ arc. Because I feel like he has more, or Namu is, I don't want to say he's fodder to All Might, but Muscular has that personality. He has those designs that make sense for costumes. His quirk itself is very simple. It's a strength reinforcement quirk. He'd be an All Might counter, where, you know, he's a big villain who can show up and fight on the battlefield. And I just think it would do wonders for, like, have him show up as a potential, like, tank-like character, right? Where his quirk will be tied to, like, taking damage for the team. The more damage he takes, the more he's able to reduce it. Because that's how his Muscular Fibers quirks works. That's all I really have for Muscular, but I would love to see him. His fight with Deku in season 3 is still one of the best fights in the series. And in the short time lived, I'd believe he'd make an excellent character for Ultra Rumble there. All right, number 4. Can you guess what number 4 is going to be? It's Gentle Criminal and La Brava. I love those two so much. So this dynamic duo, right? They go hand in hand. They are hand to hand in in One's Justice 2 as DLC. I feel like Gentle, I looked at him strictly from like a traversal point of view, where like he could like create little like launch pads for his teammates and help them get around the map. And in doing so, I think that'd be a great time. La Brava, I just figured she could like provide information for the team as like, oh, here's our loot, you know. Within a limited range, of course, and I think they'd make for a great look. And my 5th and final option is Hero Killer Stain. Stain. I would never forget Stain. I think he needs to be in the game. If he wasn't considered for the launch roster, I'm absolutely like flabbergasted. Bro, he's flabbergasted. Over Stain's exclusion from the launch roster. His quirk, Blood Curdle, is, from a gameplay perspective, I feel like it would be very annoying if he just like fully stops all movement. But if he's like able to strike someone high risk, and if he's able to strike them and get them to bleed, you know, inflict like a bleed condition on them, high reward, where he's able to like limit their traversal, where they're not completely stopped, but they can't do their extended traversal options, such as Deku's Black Whip. And with that, his sword and knife combination, he's just a perfect fit for the game. You know, he has his sword for his melee combos, and his range is just him throwing knives. Bam, bam. And that's about it. Those are the 5 villains that I really want to see for Ultra Rumble. And if you have like a different list of characters, I should mention honorary list members was Nines, but I felt like All For One kind of satisfied Nines' role. In the Reflect guy from World Hero Mission, I feel like he would have been cool, but I didn't want to. I feel like everybody that made my list as more of a, like, they've earned their spots to be in a My Hero game because they've shown up in the other games already, and I hope they're considered for future games. Just a quick reminder for those that are just getting to the end of this video. My Hero Ultra Rumble's beta starts on August 18th. Beta codes will be sent out August 16th if you signed up for them. And the sessions will be available in a shorts that I will link below in my description. Thank you for tuning into these videos, and I hope you enjoyed the content. If you want more My Hero Ultra Rumble content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.